Hey there, thanks for watching and Happy New Year! Today is Wednesday, I lied, today's Tuesday, January 1st, 2019. Yesterday was New Year's Eve, and please forgive the whole get up. I'm feeling a little bit tired, a little rough. I just couldn't face the thought of putting contacts in because I'd had them in for almost 24 hours a day before, and I just needed some time to recuperate. So I've got my tea over here, I've got my list of notes right here, and I'm excited to give you sort of a rundown of my New Year's Eve as well as my goals for 2019. And I waited specifically to make this video because I wanted to see kind of how the whole New Year's situation shook out and kind of sit with what I thought I was going to be doing and really take the time to think it over before I sort of set them in stone, put them out there, my goals and feelings, etc. My recap on the previous year or the previous, I guess, day, and how things, sort of the state of things at the moment. So, start with sort of my New Year's Eve, and I love the idea of it. I know of New Year's, I know that it can be super overhyped, and it leaves a lot of people, it used to leave me, kind of still does a little bit, leave me with kind of like that feeling in your chest, like it should be, I feel like there's a lot of buildup, like it should be more than it actually is. But when it comes down to it, I really do like the idea of a formal process to be like, this year is done and this year starts. This thing starts, this thing ends, and this thing starts. So I really do like that a lot, and it's important to me to be able to celebrate that with people who are important to me and mark it in a memorable way. So, and I took some sort of footage of what happened because it actually ended up being like a fantastic evening and a lot of fun. But the reason I did that I took footage of that was because that was actually my second choice. And my first choice plans fell through pretty spectacularly on Christmas Eve and in a way that did not make me happy, that was not at all fun, or it was terrible. So I was upset and sad for a little bit. Let's give it 24 hours here, give or take. And then I was like, you know what? That was plan A. Plan A fell through. Plan B, plan C, plan D. Let's keep it moving. Let's make another plan. So it's exactly what I did. And thankfully, one of my best friends from high school is a photographer, and he got a gig to cover a party at a hotel in the city, and it was magnificent. He needed a +1, so that was me, and so I would be helping him out with the event, and it was a fabulous event. It was in like a 4-star Taj property hotel, and there was dinner and dancing and an open bar and a raw bar and a DJ, and they had like 2 separate rooms going. There was like the restaurant sort of party room, and then there was the rotunda room, which had, and you'll see in the footage, giant, like a live band, like a swing band kind of thing playing, and a giant like balloon. I still, like, when we walked in, we got there at like 3 in the afternoon. We saw a giant like balloon stash, and they released that at midnight, so it was really cool to like sort of watch that fall. And I mean, and these are just kind of like standard things that, again, this is my second choice, and it was fabulous. It was a lot of fun, and there was a good sort of like wide variety of people, and there was some diversity in terms of like the people that were there. There were families, there were people that there was also a wedding at the time, but it was a little, I mean, they were, because it was such an upscale hotel, they were generally people of means, which was interesting to watch. So that was the evening, and again, it was exhausting because I was helping him out and I was supporting him, and just kind of trying to enjoy the hotel at the same time. But they also, because he's done a lot of work for this hotel in the past, he got comped a giant suite. Well, big for me because what do I know? He got comped a suite on the 38th floor. So they gave, it was like 2 rooms and then a bar and a fridge and what have you. So it was really neat to kind of be there, and he got some shots of me, which is exciting because I always like to have whatever photographs on hand. headshots or whatnot. Anyway, so that was our evening, and it was tons of fun. And then what I like to do, sort of my tradition on the first of the year, is to either go to a mountain or a beach. And this year it was like, I want to see the beach. So I drove down to a local beach in Jersey because we are on the shore. We have a number of really decent beaches. So there's one that was an hour and a half away. So I drove down there. I left. So the party ended around, let's say 2. I left at 2:30. My parking ended at 3, so I had to be out by 3. Super cheap. I ended up getting 12 hours for $26. So good deal. So I drove out. I got to my house around 3, and then I kind of like took a break, took a breather, had some food, and then I left for the shore at 4, got there around 5:30. Sunrise was at 7:17, and I was all set, ready to go. I took some pictures myself. It was gorgeous, and then I drove back and slept. And so I took a nap, and this brings me to now, where I am. It's about 4 o'clock now, and it was crazy because it was like 65 degrees, 62 degrees on January 1st in northeastern New Jersey. It was crazy. It's a really gorgeous beach weather. What do you want in January in Jersey? So can't argue. So that was my evening, and I will insert some clips. I'll show you a little bit of the suite. I'll show you the outfit that I was wearing, which I think I got for a pretty decent deal, and which I'm also hoping to get dry cleaned and then turn around and sell on my side hustle. And then I'll show you there's like a couple minutes of the 31st of the midnight balloon drop, and then I'll show you the beach because it was just gorgeous. So that was my New Year's Eve, and all the while I was kind of like taking time to think through and kind of solidify really what I want to do this year and what the theme of this year is going to be for me. So my one word is grow, and that's the word that I'm using as my theme for the whole year. And I'm going to try to bring all decisions and plans all under that one word, grow. So with that in mind, I have these 7, and again, I have my notes here that I'm looking at. I have these 7 goals or targets that I would like to hit over that amount this year. And the first goal is not money related. The first goal is relationship related, and that's me. And again, I've spoken about this before, but I want to be and become, and I think compared to last year, I've for sure improved from last year, because 2018 was probably one of the best years relationship-wise that I've ever had. I had some fantastic, some really good closure, and I had some really great experiences, and just like cutting it off on December 31st, it was a great year. So my first goal is to continue to do what I was doing, which is affirming myself, going back to saying my daily affirmations in the area of love and relationships, and to really treating myself well, making myself a priority, and being consistent. And I say showing up for myself, but what I really mean is being present with myself every day where I am, not wanting to be somewhere else, or not kind of like coasting through or phoning it in, really being intentional each day, which is hard because I tend to zone out a lot of the time. So that's my number one goal, is to grow myself, to welcome in a relationship mindset. So that's number one. My second goal is to grow my side income, and I have a specific number in mind, and I am going to share that in another video. I'm really excited to share that because I want to have a plan in place before I share that number, because it's going to take some sort of it's going to take discipline and dedication, and really sort of say buckling down, but really being intentional every single month about what I'm doing. So my second goal is to grow my side income significantly. My third goal is to double my savings. So increased my invisible savings account. I call it invisible because I don't look at it. I don't consider that my emergency fund. I don't consider that any type of sinking fund. That's just my emergency for super long term, or my savings for super long term in the future. So last year, it started in April when I got this new job that I'm at right now, and it's $10 a week. I save $10 a week, and I just send it right away. And I saved up like $387, which may not sound like a lot, but it's more than I had last year. So I'm really trying to. What I did was I increased that to $20 per week. I know I won't notice it, and it will, if I keep on that track, it will be, I'll have $1,000 by the end of the year, $1,000 additional. So it's more the action of having that savings than anything else. So that's number 3, is to increase my savings. And the next 4, so those are my top 3. So relationship, business, and savings are super important. The next 4 are sort of, I say variable, but they will vary in order of importance. And I'm looking at them even now and trying to think how I'm going to order these. So because I started this channel on my getting out of debt journey, I'll put that number 4. But so to reduce my debt via side hustle, etc. Here's the thing with that. So I have just under $15,000. I have 14 and change in student loan debt, and that's the only debt that I have. And that doesn't really impact my life so much. Like, it doesn't really impact my credit score. It doesn't infringe on anything I'm trying to do. It doesn't keep me so far from doing anything that I want to do. I don't really notice it. And I think about it, and I look at the end of the year, and I say, would I rather have that 14 and change paid off, or would I rather have that 14 and change in savings? And I think, of course, I would rather have that in savings. So at this moment, I'm not making debt pay off a priority, because what is a priority is being able to keep a roof over my head, being able to feed myself. Like, that is a priority. So getting out of debt isn't a super high priority. Right now I'm making the minimum payments, which I think are about $130. And if I keep going on this track, I think it'll take me like 5 or 6 years to pay off my loan, which is demoralizing and annoying, but it doesn't impact my life. If something catastrophic were to happen, if I were to lose my job and not be eligible for unemployment, that would impact my life. So for me, it's not super responsible right now to say I'm going to throw everything at the debt. What I am going to throw everything toward is savings and business growth. So that's where I am in terms of debt. It's on my list. It's on my top 7, but it's not in the top 3. So the second area, or the 5th area, is the area of professional development. And for me, that would be keeping up with my career journal, studying and potentially looking for additional certification, just some kind of ongoing learning that I can take, because there's not really a huge emphasis on that at my job. It's all sort of self-directed, and I want to be good about that, because I love doing that, and it gives me sort of a renewed interest and invigoration for my career. So, which is marketing. I'm an account exec at a marketing company. So that's number 5. And so the career journal, I'll do a video on this if this is interesting to anyone. A career journal is where you take time usually at the end of each week and at the end of each month, to note down any successes that you've had at your job, any failures, setbacks, challenges, and opportunities for growth. That way, at the end of the year, when it comes time to look for, say, your annual review, you'll have a full list of those accomplishments ready to go. And I used to be a lot better about this than I have been, but it's very helpful when you're working to actively increase your career prospects. So I'm going to be dedicated about that this year. So that's area number 5. And then the next 2, area number 6, goal number 6 is in the area of exploration and experiences. I would like to leave the country to go on an international trip. That's on my list of goals. I'm not really sure where, but I'm putting it out there that that's something that I would like to do. So, because last year, hands down, one of my best experiences was going to Colorado for the 14er. Every single cent I spent on that trip was worth it. And I know that travel is worth it. So just making an effort to do that, and scheduling it in, making it a priority. And the final goal sort of thing that I'm working toward is the idea of continuing to declutter and keep my space very clean. I know the word minimal is also very overused, but clean, simple, streamlined, and intentional are the words I like to use. Um, Being very, again, intentional about my belongings and how I care for them, caring for them well, because I know that translates into your everyday life when you care for your belongings. It's a reflection of how you care for your life. So I want to continue to do that. So these are my 7 goals, and I will put them in the description box down below. So if you don't want to kind of listen to my rambling, you can see them. Well, you'll see them when you click on the link. Anyway, I will also insert those clips, if I haven't, somewhere of the New Year's Eve party and the beach in the morning. And that is my New Year's Eve rundown and my goals for 2019. So thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear your top 3 goals for 2019 and how you're planning to make those happen. So thanks again for watching. I hope you will keep watching, and I look forward to interacting with you more. Bye. These are some shots of the suite that my friend Neil and I stayed in for the event at the Pierre Hotel in the city. This is the dress that I'm wearing for the evening, and I'm about to show you some shots of the actual suite itself. That's the window you see when you first walk in. That's Neil in the corner. He is setting up some handheld lights for the event, and you'll see in a little bit. That's the second window in the bedroom, and I apologize for switching the aspect of the shots. That's the second window you see, third window in the bedroom, and then this is me with the dress that I'm wearing. It was maybe $25 off Amazon and a fantastic buy. I felt wonderful in it. It was so much fun to be wearing that sort of sparkly stuff. And I'm hoping to get it dry cleaned and resell on Amazon. And that is the room, and we're getting ready to head down into the party itself, which you'll see in a little bit.